Hi, I'm Spencer Brown. I'm recording my video for Module 4 for AEP 855. This video is about KISA, and this was a little bit more of a challenging video for me to make because I don't work in a school. And so I've kind of adapted this a little bit to talk about my work as a Kansas MTSS and alignment trainer in terms of KISA. So I've had the privilege of being on several KISA teams across the state. I'm currently on several, and I'm the chair of one district, their process. And so I'm very familiar with KISA. And our team actually, because we have kind of our own rubrics and things that schools do self-evaluations on, we did a crosswalk of the KISA rubrics with our own documents to ensure that we hit a lot of the same areas. We also were trying to streamline a process. So if there was anything that we could glean from their KISA rubrics that we then wouldn't have to ask ourselves, we could get it from that. We also wanted to help schools see a streamlined process and not see it as two separate things. Our job as Kansas MTSS and alignment is really to help streamline and focus initiatives. And so we did the crosswalk to make sure that they understand that we are about a framework that really wants to take aim at database decision making in every category of the school. And so we had a ton of crossover on things that you might see on the KISA rubrics. Before I get into too much of that, I wanted to just touch on the commissioner's video. I really appreciated what he said when he talked about being a district-wide system. I think that that's something that got lost there for a while, and that's something that our team really works hard to push, is an understanding that that we really need things to be systemic, and you should work as a full district on for the betterment of student learning. And then the idea of engaging all stakeholders. I love that idea. I've reported in a couple of the assignments my strong desire to try to uncover blind spots. And so bringing in all stakeholders to make sure we're doing the best for kids is really crucial. Because I don't have a principal, I thought about the process of KISA, and I thought that really the way it's written in a way to try to pull out some participative leaders. And so I've seen that a lot out of leaders. I've seen them, because they're trying to engage all stakeholders, really take a step back and try to figure out how to become more participative in their own leadership. However, I've also seen other leaders really step a long ways back and say, you know what, I'll be the visionary, and I want to see you guys run with this and see what you can do with it. So I've seen a couple different leadership styles emerge from superintendents during this process. The area I see as the largest struggle, oftentimes districts are picking family engagement, and the issue there is they tend to just relate that with, okay, what participation did we get at parent-teacher conferences? Okay, well, if you want to increase participation there, then okay, let's make hot dogs and make it a carnival night, right? But is that really what we're after when we look at those rubrics? And so I've had lots of conversation about really trying to help them understand the difference between family engagement and family empowerment. How are we truly leveraging parents for the betterment of their child's learning? How are we empowering them to help their child through whatever issues they might have in their own learning? And so our team, actually, we collect data on family engagement around the 6 PTA standards. And so if a district's in our process, they do that once a year and check for improvement. And so then we actually have them take that data and dissect it by each standard and say, okay, so if we're talking about shared ownership of our students' learning, what are we doing specifically to address that issue? And so we help them kind of think about all their wide variety of things they do with family engagement: muffins with mom, donuts with dad, carnival night, math night. We have them stop for a second and say, what's the value of these events, and how could we potentially adjust that to hit more of one of these research-based standards? So that's just a big area that, personally, I guess, not necessarily our whole team, that's a bigger conversation I've had with a lot of the districts that I'm involved in the KISA process with. So I think it's a great process, and I'm excited to see how it rolls out with schools, more and more schools kind of coming into that final year. So thanks.